ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius? Billions of people just living out their lives, oblivious.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? And it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. And I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about. Evolution, Morpheus. Evolution. Like the dinosaur. Look out that window. You've had your time. The future is our world, Morpheus. The future is our time.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species. And I realized that you're not actually mammals. Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment, but you humans do not. You move to an area and you multiply, and multiply until every natural resource is consumed. And the only way you can survive is to spread to another area. There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern. Do you know what it is? A virus. Human beings are a disease, a cancer of this planet. You are a plague, and we are the cure. Can you hear me, Morpheus? I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place, this zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer. It's the smell, if there is such a thing. I feel saturated by it. I can taste your stink. And every time I do, I fear that I've somehow been infected by it. It's repulsive, isn't it? I must get out of here. I must get free. And in this mind is the key, my key.
There are people that's awake, and there's people asleep. Now, most people on this planet are asleep. So, let's break it to the least common denominator. Let's say the black community. It used to, they say 5%. No, it's like point something now.
That's right.
You see, that's asleep. So you're going to be lonely because the simple fact that people are asleep. Now, how is this? You have a chakra system in your body, and these are 9 wheels of consciousness. 7 wheels of consciousness. There's like 160 chakras, but 7 major chakras, just like there's 7 African powers. Now, what has happened here to give you a scientific element of what's going on so you can clear this up so you don't have to go and be trying to holler at somebody and they laugh at you and they don't want to hear that shit. Because your family will beat you down, and niggas in the street will beat you down. You're going to try to give them a message. Now, had you around here crazy. Now, the chakra system, the lower chakra is your sacral vertebrae. That's your root chakra. And that's where the majority of the people's consciousness is, on the root chakra. So the only thing that they can get down with is desires. What feels good, what tastes good, what smells good, what looks good, what sounds good.
Yeah.
You see, the basic senses, you see, on that particular level, they are called the automatons, which means automation.
Okay.
They moving, but they're brain dead. You see what I'm saying? Now, you don't even get into this particular consciousness that you can partake to understand what things is until you're radiating from the heart chakra. You see, the heart chakra. That's why the Egyptian, the heart scarab was the most important. Even when you died, they'd throw the brain away. But it was the heart that they preserved. So that's where your true self is. But you got to radiate from the heart chakra and then you elevate on into the pineal gland. But most people's consciousness is in the root chakra. On the five senses, the animal level. They can look pretty, they can have a PhD with a degree. They tell you it's only a degree of information. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, a degree of information, it has nothing to do with a person's behavior. Whether they're conscious or not. You see, it has nothing to do with what a person wears. It has something to do is where they incarnated down here on a certain level and they are radiating above the root chakra. And I guarantee you this right now. Even if some of you all just coming into consciousness the last couple of weeks or the last year, I'll guarantee you, you always felt special since you was a baby. Now, I've been asking that question in my lectures around the country for 16 years. And I asked everybody, how many of you all always thought that you were special? And the whole room always raised their hands. You didn't know what it was. You see what I'm saying? But you thought it was special. And you always had a thirst for something that you didn't know what it was. And it was this knowledge. Let me give you an example. When I was in college, I was standing up one time, I had finished school, and I was standing on the college campus with one of the coaches. We got to be good friends, one of the basketball coaches, Coach Holmes. And he said, well, how do you feel, man? You've educated yourself. I said, man, I don't feel shit. I didn't know at the time. I told him, I thought when I came here to this university, that when I left, I was going to have some kind of knowledge. I didn't know what the knowledge was. All I know is what I went through for 4 years, I didn't have shit. I knew I felt empty. Now, it was, you know, it was a couple of years later that what I was missing, I realized was knowledge. You see what I'm saying? But I knew something was wrong. You see, and that's what it is. You always thought that that something was missing, and that's why. That is because you were gravitating above the root chakra.